Welcome back, guys, to another video here on the channel. I'm Josue from Josue's Exotics, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be showcasing all the venomous snakes that we have here at the facility. So make sure you guys stay tuned to check it out if you want to see some awesome snakes. So I came into the facility today and I want to go ahead and clean out all the snake cages that I have, so I figured this would be a perfect time to shoot you guys some content. And we're going to start with the timber rattlesnake babies that I got here on the channel a little while ago. Pretty awesome little snake. I'm gonna get you guys out of here. I'm probably gonna put them on top of the snake holding receptacles that we have here, so I can get you a good close-up of the specimen here. So let me find my snake hook, and we are going to go hunting for a rattlesnake. So we got them out. Let me get you guys off the old tripod here. We can get a good zoom in close-up shot of the timber rattlesnake. So this is one of two babies that I have here on the channel. This is an awesome snake, I think. Let me go ahead and move him a little bit closer over here so we can get a little bit better view of him. I don't want to keep him in here too long, but we got to clean out his enclosure because it's got a little bit of poop in it, give him some fresh water and do all that stuff there. So let me get into the snake holding receptacle and we'll move on to the next one. So we got his cage all cleaned out. He's got some fresh water. We moved some stuff around, so I think it's time to put our snake back in the cage. So this one is a good clear container, just a little snap lock container. It holds them pretty good for me. Always got to make sure it at least got some kind of lock on it, you know, you feel me? So here we go. Like I said, this is the little baby timber rattlesnake. We don't want to mess with him too much. We just want to go in and get him back in his little home here, and we can do it pretty quickly, like so. Booyah. So let's get you guys a little close up of what we got going on for this one here, so you can see all the little enclosures. We're gonna be building some bigger ones too here shortly, but this is great for him. Awesome little snake here. So let's move on to the next snake. So next up, I think we're gonna take out the copperheads, and we'll do this one at a time, so I'll try to get you guys a little close up of them, and we'll go ahead and put them in the snake holding receptacle. So we got our trusty snake hook on us because they got some poop in their cage as well. We gotta be careful because I got them they're in this little log right here, hiding it out. They tend to like this, apparently a little bit better than the other one. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to drop you like that, but we gotta get our snake holding receptacle. There we go. So here we go, guys. That is the copperhead pit viper we got here. This is the male one. Female is just chilling out behind us, but we're gonna go ahead and get him into the can here, so that way he can be good and secure. And then we got, uh-oh, I'm sorry. She's getting pretty thick, so she may be ready to give us some babies. Let's see if we can get her. Uh-oh. There we go. Well, either way, this is the female one. She is a pretty big snake here. Beautiful nonetheless, but I think she's probably going to get ready to have babies soon. So let's go ahead and get her inside of here, and we'll check out their enclosure in just a minute when we get them back inside. So I figured this would be a good time to give you a close-up of these snakes here, since I got them all together in a safe spot where I can show them all to you real quick. And you can see the female is the more pinker colored one, and the male is the more tan one there. They've gotten pretty big since I've had them. I think I've had them for almost 2 years now. taking care of them, making sure they're growing. Pretty decent size, but nowhere near the size of the water moccasin, man. Because these snakes are related to them, because these are the Echistrodon contortrix, and the water moccasin is the Echistrodon piscivorus, which are always cool fact. These snakes can intermingle together and make a pretty cool hybrid snake, but it only occurs in captivity because they do inhabit different areas. So pretty awesome snakes. And they are ovoviviparous, and they're egg laying, and they're one of the few snakes that can reproduce asexually. Pretty cool stuff. So we got to get our snakes back in here to their enclosure, and we can very carefully get our friends in here like so. Boom. In there. There we are. There we are. Much, much better. I have to get a little bit better handle on it here. What's wrong with you? You get back in there, sir. As we get our female in here very carefully, slide her little fat butt in there. And then we can lock our snakes back on up, and we're good to go to move on to the next one. So next up, we are going to be taking out the pygmy rattlesnake. He's came out his little hides now that the lights and everything's came on. And he is pretty curious to see what is going on here. But I want to take him out, show him to you guys, and make sure he doesn't have any poop. Give him some fresh water and clean out his cage real quick, move everything around so he can be freshly motivated. Oh, don't you hiss at me. So this, guys, is the pygmy rattlesnake here. Awesome species of pit viper here, native to Georgia as well, and also one of the smallest species of rattlesnake. They're also called the ground rattler because you have to get down pretty low to the ground to hear them because they're a little buzzing. Because their tails are so small, you can't even really hear them. And they are Cypress Mulch and part of another smaller species set of rattlesnakes, which are not actually treated as true rattlesnakes because the only ones are in the Crotalus family. So the other one will be the Massasauga rattlesnake, the Cystrus catenatus. All right, let's go ahead and get him put in the holding receptacle here, stop messing with him, and we'll get him put back in his cage and keep on rolling. All right, so we just got to go ahead and get our snake back into his little enclosure. Now with this one in particular, I have to be careful with him because he's kind of hard to stay on a hook here. So what I like to do is take the whole enclosure that he's in and kind of put him next to it and use our snake hook skills to do some snake wrangling and get him back in here as quickly as possible and easily as possible. Because he is not one you want to mess around with because they are always kind of finicky with that. So you got to work with them and try to get them back where you want them to go with stuff. But he is good to go. We're going to lock him on up, get him back into his enclosure and good to go. So we'll give you a close up of the pygmy rattlesnake in his little fancy house. So that's him, guys, the old pygmy rattlesnake. So I think we're probably going to move on to the big old eastern diamondback. Awesome looking little setup, I think. So moving on, we are going to get the eastern diamondback out of the cage here. and we are going to go ahead and put him in the holding receptacle here. We may give you a little close-up once he's inside here safe and sound, because this is definitely one snake you don't want to mess around with too much. Probably be best, since we are getting him out, you open up both doors. You have to do it very carefully, of course. So, he is not too happy right now. He's watching me very closely. So now we just kind of have to slowly, we'll ease him out and do things at his speed. You know what I mean? Because you got to go at his speed of what he's comfortable and wanting you to do. So like how he's facing away from me now, this would be a good time to get him on the snake hook here and show you guys how big he's getting. Pretty big rattlesnake, if I would say so, man. He's probably getting like 4 or 5 feet long. I've been caring for him pretty good. He's getting kind of heavy to hold up on the snake hook though. I have to kind of rest it on here, but let's go ahead and get him put in here. Be careful with our friend here. We don't want to upset him as always, because he's an awesome snake. You want to keep him pretty calm and make every handling experience a good experience as you can make it. You know what I mean? Because they don't necessarily want to be handled, but you kind of have to handle them to get them out, to do stuff with them, to clean the poop, because they do tend to make a mess here. But we'll see you guys in just a second. I'm gonna clean out some spicy meatballs and put them back in. We'll get another good close-up of them. We'll move on to our next snake. So we got his cage all cleaned out. We just gotta grab our snake hook and make sure that we follow all our snake rules. As always, pop the lid, pull this thing off. Check out where our snake's at. Can move that off to the side. And get him back in here pretty safely. I do say so myself. There we go. Now we got him good and supported across his whole body. Awesome snake, but just to be on the safe side so we don't make him too mad, let's go ahead and lead him on into his cage here. Slowly but surely, like clockwork, got him back in, locked up. So this is the old Eastern Diamondback setup here. It's pretty standard setup, just with a water bowl, hide. Got a little bit of basking area over here off to this side. And it works for him because I've been just monitoring him, making sure he's all good and healthy. I got to put a little bit more greenery back in here. I got some green stuff that can go and match with it that I had in here before. I just wanted to make sure he was okay because he wasn't eating. And he's got a little lump on him, but we're pretty sure it's just a little cyst. And we're going to pop that here soon on the video. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be pretty awesome little thing. But moving on to the next snake. All right, so moving on to the next snake here, we have him already out, and that is Sniper the Pit Viper, the one and only, man. He's looking a little too chunky, so we're probably gonna feed him in another week or so, let him burn off some more calories, because he's getting a little too thick. He ate a pretty good, decent sized rat too, and I'm pretty sure that'll get him good for another month. So we may not be seeing him for a little while, man, because he needs to get him a little weight gone. Ain't nothing wrong with being a little chunky though, but can't let our snake friend get too fat and not be proactive about it. So let's go ahead and get his cage cleaned out. We'll catch you guys in just a second, and we'll put him back in the cage and show you his little setup, and then we'll keep on rolling. So we got everything all cleaned out, so it's time to put our water moccasin friend back in, the video. Sorry, that was just a little dramatic pause. Wasn't no big deal for alarm, I was just messing with y'all. So, I'm pretty hands-on with my snake here. He's pretty good snake, for the most part. But the key is getting him to go in the cage. Like so, there we go. So moving on to over here, we got our 2 baby copperheads and this 2 enclosures up top. And this one has been liking to hide in the back next to this little log. So let's go ahead and get this little jumpy noodle here out and onto a little platform here so we guys can check him out real quick. So this is one of the baby copperheads that I've been raising here myself since a hatchling, because I was not prepared to have babies as soon as I did. But we have been doing pretty good in keeping them and keeping them growing. So let's go ahead and get him put in the snake holding receptacle, because he has been wanting to jump off of here. So we get you guys back on the tripod in just a moment. So we got his cage all cleaned out. We're gonna go ahead and put him back in here. We're gonna grab the other copperhead, pull him out, show you this guy, show you how big he's gotten, and we'll show you both of their enclosures together once we get them back in there. So let's go ahead and get our little friend out of here. He is quite the snippy little friend. He does not care to be handled too well, so we're not even gonna play around with him too much. We're going to lock him up. Boom, we in there. So moving on to number 2. He's hid up, or she, which if you guys don't know, I haven't told you yet, I got a snake probing kit. So we will be probing some of these snakes here shortly in a couple videos or so when I get some free time. And then we'll know if we got a male or a female, which I'll probably just wait for the babies whenever they get a little bit bigger and go from there. So this, guys, is a good up close shot of our copperhead friend here. He's looking good, doing his thing. Maybe I can brighten up a little bit, give you guys a little bit more vivid image of him. Pretty awesome little snake. We don't want to mess with him too much. He's rattling his little tail. He is not happy. All right, so last but not least, we got to get our last copperhead friend back into his little enclosure here. So he is not too bad as the other one. Just drop him on in. And we got to find his lid, which is right here. Dust this guy off a little bit, wipe it off. And then we'll be good to go. And we'll give you guys a close-up of them in just a second. All right, guys, so here is copperhead number 1, baby. Sitting there looking at us all missing. I don't know why they just like to do that, but they're out basking a little bit. And then I got this one back in his cage. This is copperhead baby number 2, kind of doing their thing over there. Fresh water for everybody, clean cages, fresh mulch, all the good stuff. Last but not least, we got to feed our other baby timber rattlesnake. This is the last snake on the species list of the venomous snakes that we have here at the facility. So let me give you guys a little close-up of them here on the bucket. Hopefully we can keep them still long enough so that way we can check them out for you guys. He's pretty squirmy. Whew. Crazy snake. Gotta try to catch him to keep him on here, man. He's moving around all crazy on me here. But I'm pretty good with the snake hook, even with the one hand doing the camera stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and pick him on up, slide him on in here, because guess what? He can't get out of here. So we can give you a really, really good close-up now. I like to do it on top of the white background. It helps with the color contrast of stuff, you know. If you do photography, you kind of get to see a lot of that. But the clear background isn't too bad. It kind of gives it that little white look too. But awesome snake. We go ahead and clean out his enclosure, get him put back in, and we'll see you guys in a second. All right, so we got everything pretty much done with this. So now we just got to do a little bit of clean it up, and we'll be done with the video, guys. So just like to dust everything off, make sure we don't have anything just, you know, build up. These things do get dusty. And I like to wipe things down to keep them as clean as possible for my reptiles, you know what I mean? Not that I'm a perfectionist or nothing like that, but if I'm gonna have these animals, I wanna make sure they're taken care of to the best of my capabilities. So, excuse me. Snake is down there at the bottom doing his thing. Not gonna catch me slipping, and I kind of move things around a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get him up in the little hole here. And he's good to go. So here he is, guys, the timber rattlesnake baby that we have here. He's gonna be a big boy rattlesnake soon. As long as we keep feeding him, he keeps growing, doing his thing. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, getting to see all the venomous collection that we have here on the channel. And we'll probably do a reptile overhaul and a reptile room tour as soon as we get the shed done with everything else. So hope you guys enjoy it and enjoy me in these videos. So I'm gonna keep making them. See you on the next one.